Hello, and welcome to Hallo English. We're so glad you're joining us to practice your listening skills today.
It's great to be here.
Hey, hello everyone, and welcome back. I hope you are feeling relaxed and comfortable wherever you are right now.
Hi guys, hello. And I'm really happy you're here with us today because we're going to have a very friendly and easy conversation together.
Yes, and before we begin, let me introduce myself in a natural way because that is also part of learning English.
That sounds perfect. And I will introduce myself too, so it feels like a real conversation.
So, my name is Ryan, and I love helping people learn English in a simple, calm, and natural way.
And I'm Emma, and I enjoy talking with you and making English feel easy, comfortable, and even a little fun.
And together, we welcome you to our channel, Hallo English, where you can relax and slowly improve your English every day.
Yes, and you don't need to rush because learning English step by step, slowly and consistently is the best way to improve.
And if you enjoy learning like this, you could like this video and maybe subscribe to the channel so you can practice English with us every day.
And you can also leave a small comment, even a simple sentence, because writing just a little helps your English grow.
Exactly, because small actions like listening, repeating, and commenting can create big improvement over time.
So today, we're going to talk about something very interesting and very useful, which is how to speak like a native speaker.
Yes, and I know many people feel nervous when they hear this because it sounds difficult, but actually, it can be simple.
That's true, because speaking like a native speaker does not mean being perfect, and it does not mean speaking fast.
Yes, speaking like a native speaker means sounding natural, relaxed, and comfortable when you speak.
And it also means using simple words in a natural way, instead of trying to use very difficult vocabulary all the time.
Exactly, because many learners think that using big words makes them sound better, but actually, simple English sounds more natural.
So, Ryan, let me ask you a simple question, because I think our listeners are thinking about this too.
Sure, go ahead. I'm ready.
What is the biggest mistake people make when they try to speak like a native speaker?
That's a great question, and I think the biggest mistake is trying too hard to sound perfect.
Yes, that makes sense, because when you try too hard, you become tense and uncomfortable.
Exactly, and when you feel tense, your voice changes, your speed changes, and your speaking feels unnatural.
So instead of trying to be perfect, what should learners do?
They should try to be relaxed, because relaxed English sounds more natural than perfect English.
I really like that idea. Relaxed English sounds better than perfect English.
Yes, and you can repeat this with me in your mind. Relaxed English is better than perfect English.
And you can say it again softly. Relaxed English is better than perfect English.
Good, because repetition builds confidence slowly.
So, Ryan, I have another question that many learners think about.
Yes, go ahead. I think I know what you will ask.
Do we need to speak fast to sound like a native speaker?
That is a very common question, and the answer is no, you do not need to speak fast.
Oh, that is good to hear, because many people feel pressure to speak quickly.
Yes, but speaking too fast can make your English unclear and stressful.
So, what is better than speaking fast?
Speaking clearly and comfortably is much better than speaking fast.
I like that. Clearly and comfortably sounds much more peaceful.
Yes, and native speakers often speak at different speeds depending on the situation.
So speed is not the most important thing.
Exactly. Clarity and comfort are more important than speed.
Let's repeat that idea again together. Clarity is more important than speed.
Very nice. And again, clarity is more important than speed. So, listeners, think about this question for a moment.
Yes, this is for you to reflect quietly.
When you speak English, do you try to speak fast or do you try to speak clearly?
Just notice your habit, because awareness helps you improve step by step.
So, Ryan, what is another simple way to sound more like a native speaker?
Another important way is using common daily phrases instead of translating from your language.
Ah, yes. Translating can make sentences sound unnatural sometimes.
Exactly, because direct translation often does not match how native speakers really speak.
Can you give an example for that?
Sure, instead of saying, I am having 25 years, native speakers say, I am 25 years old.
Oh yes, that is a very common mistake.
And instead of saying, I did a party, native speakers say, I had a party.
That sounds much more natural and correct.
Yes, so learning phrases is better than learning single words only.
So the idea is to learn English in chunks, not just isolated words.
Exactly. Phrases help you speak faster and more naturally without thinking too much.
Let's repeat that idea together. Learn phrases, not just words.
Very good. And again, learn phrases, not just words.
This is already feeling very helpful and easy to follow.
Yes, and we are just getting started, so stay relaxed and enjoy the process.
And remember, you don't need to understand everything perfectly. Just listen and absorb naturally.
Exactly, because understanding grows slowly like a plant growing every day.
That's a beautiful way to think about learning English. So let's continue this conversation and explore more simple ways to sound natural and confident. So Ryan, we already talked about listening, using simple words, and learning phrases. So what is the next step?
The next step is something very simple but very powerful, and that is copying natural speech, also called imitation.
Imitation sounds interesting and maybe a little fun too.
Yes, it can actually be fun because you're not just learning, you're playing with the language.
So how can someone practice imitation in a simple way at home?
You can listen to a short sentence, pause, and then repeat it in the same way, with the same tone and rhythm.
So it's not just about repeating the words, but also copying how it sounds.
Exactly, because the music of the language is just as important as the words themselves.
I like that idea, the music of the language, because English really has a rhythm.
Yes, and when you copy that rhythm, your English starts to sound more natural without extra effort.
Can you give us a small example to try together?
Sure, listen to this sentence. I didn't really think about it, and then try to repeat it softly.
I noticed that did not becomes didn't, and it sounds smoother.
Yes, and also notice how really is not stressed too much, so the sentence flows gently.
So listeners, you can try it now in your mind. I didn't really think about it.
And again, just repeat it softly. I didn't really think about it.
This feels like a simple exercise, but I can feel how useful it is.
Yes, small exercises like this can slowly change how you speak.
So Ryan, I have another question that many learners feel but don't always say.
Yes, I think I know this question, but go ahead and ask.
What if someone feels shy or afraid to speak English, even if they understand it?
That is a very real feeling, and many learners experience it at some point.
Yes, it can feel a little scary to speak in a new language.
But the important thing is to start small, because small steps reduce fear.
So what is a small step someone can take today?
You can start by speaking to yourself in English for a few minutes every day.
Talking to yourself sounds simple and safe because there's no pressure.
Exactly, and you can describe your day, your plans, or even what you're doing right now.
Like saying, I am making tea, or I'm walking to the store.
Yes, those simple sentences help you build confidence slowly.
And confidence is very important if you want to sound natural.
Absolutely, because when you feel confident, your voice becomes more relaxed and clear.
Let's repeat this idea. Confidence grows with small daily practice.
Very nice. And again, confidence grows with small daily practice.
So listeners, think about this for a moment.
Yes, this is your quiet thinking time again.
What is one small sentence you can say to yourself in English today?
Just one simple sentence is enough to begin.
You don't need to do too much. Just start small and stay consistent.
Exactly, because consistency creates real progress over time.
So Ryan, what is another important thing that helps people sound like native speakers?
Another important thing is using natural reactions in conversation.
Natural reactions sound interesting. Can you explain that simply?
Yes, native speakers often use small reactions like, oh, really, wow, or that's nice.
Ah, those little words make the conversation feel alive and human.
Exactly, they show emotion and make your speech feel more natural and less robotic.
Can we try a small example together?
Sure, if I say, I got a new job, a natural reaction could be, oh, really? That's great.
Yes, that sounds warm and friendly.
And if I say, I feel a bit tired today, you can say, oh, I understand.
That feels very natural and supportive.
Yes, these small reactions are very powerful in real conversations.
So listeners, you can remember a few simple reactions and use them often.
Yes, you can repeat them in your mind, like, oh, really? That's nice, and I see.
And again, oh really, that's nice, and I see.
Very good, because these phrases help you respond quickly and naturally.
So Ryan, I feel like we have learned many simple but powerful ideas today.
Yes, and the most important thing is not to do everything at once, but to practice slowly.
Because learning English is not a race, it's a journey.
Exactly, and every small step you take is progress.
Before we finish, let's quickly remember the key ideas together.
Yes, let's go step by step and keep it simple.
First, listen to natural English every day.
Second, use simple and clear words instead of complicated ones.
Third, learn phrases, not just single words.
Fourth, practice imitation by copying natural speech.
Fifth, speak slowly and clearly, not fast.
And sixth, use small daily practice to build confidence.
And also, don't forget to use natural reactions like, oh really, and that's nice.
Very nice. That is a beautiful summary.
So listeners, you don't need to be perfect, you just need to be consistent.
Yes, and remember, relaxed English sounds more natural than perfect English.
We really hope you enjoyed this calm and friendly conversation today.
And thank you so much for spending your time with us. It truly means a lot.
If you feel comfortable, you can write a small comment and tell us about your day.
Yes, even 1 or 2 sentences is a great way to practice.
And if you liked this style of learning, you can stay with us and keep improving every day.
Because you are not alone. You are part of a learning community here.
And we are always with you step by step.
Take care, keep practicing, and keep smiling.
Bye for now, and see you in the next conversation.